I think a good place to begin is with a question. What is reality and what is illusion? It's a really good question and a hard one to answer. Do you think that you know? An illusion is something that appears to be real, but it isn't. So how can you tell the difference? We are given a brain to hold the things that we are taught, and a mind to consider the truth of those things for ourselves. If you're not doing this, you're living a life based on someone else's illusion of the truth. There are some questions that I think each person should ask themselves and then really try to decide what is true for them, without any consideration to what other people think or to what they have been taught. Since you are probably watching this on a computer, it's reasonable to think that most of you have played a video game at some point in your life, so let's use a video game analogy to take a look at some of the questions you should be asking in order to be able to play the game with some possibility of winning. One of the first things I think we should ask is if there is a material world at all, or is that also part of the illusion? Is there a reality, or is there an illusion of reality, where everyone is inputting their thoughts into a sort of collective consciousness that influences your individual illusion of reality? Is this the kind of a video game in which we have become so involved and so attuned to that we now believe that this game of life is all that exists? Is there no material world at all, just an agreed upon illusion of the format on which the game will be played? If we died during the game, can we decide to come back to the same game with its already established rules as a different player? Now, after the answer to that question has been established, if all or most of the people involved in the game come to the same conclusion, the same ending, is the game over? Can we then elect to play the same game again? Or do we move on to another game in another dimension or another level of the game? Furthermore, can we actually go far enough to decide not to play at all? I've asked myself these questions, which caused a lot of upset and confusion for a while. Finding your own truth is not always easy. But I'm going to tell you a few of the answers that I have found and made part of my truth. You'll have to find your own truth. You can't just take mine. What I have found is that the answer to all of these questions is yes. As confusing as that may be, there is a material world with a history and a written record, and it is also an illusion. Material law as we know it only applies to this three-dimensional game. However, universal law always applies no matter what game or level you're in. Some laws, like gravity for instance, are relative, depending on the material laws of the dimensional realm or level you're playing in at the time. The single most vast illusion, whereby you think you are separate, at least in part, from the creator of the game, is just that, an illusion. No entity is now or ever has been separate from the creator. This is an unchangeable universal law, and it is an illusion solely dependent upon the vibration or level in which you yourself have decided to play the game. Your individual outcome and the outcome of the game is based on that fact. However, you can change your individual vibration or level on which you play. This is not only done by bravely completing quests, but also by changing the vibration and the tone in which you individually play. This takes great knowledge of the game, but also an extreme effort on the part of each player to attune itself to the level or vibration in which he wishes to play. As truth is not always good, and an individual, entity, or group can also remain on the level that they're in, or even move to a lower level of consciousness. Of course, this is all a matter of choice. Your choice. What will you personally choose to do? I have no idea. That is why it's your choice. Choosing not to make a choice is still a choice. All I can do is choose how I play the game.